Okay, students, we will start with the new topic today, that is the this keyword. So how we can represent a this keyword there. So basically this is a keyword. I hope you understand the term keyword here. So this is a keyword, as there are so many keywords available in Java. So we will discuss some of the keywords in our this particular syllabus. So we are starting with one, but keyword that is known as a this keyword. So why we require this keyword, and what is the purpose of this keyword? That it is a reference variable. How we can refer it? That it is a reference variable. Okay, that will also that will always that refers to the current object. Okay, so this is how we can refer this particular keyword, that is this keyword. So it is a reference variable. How we can mark it? That this is a reference variable that will refer to the current object. Okay, so that will refer to the current object. So that particular we can refer that, like let's suppose we are having this keyword here. So this keyword will be acting as a reference variable. So it will be acting as a reference variable, and it will refer to which part? That it will refer to the object part. So what a particular object contains? So what value a particular object contains? That is a state and its behavior. Fine. So what object tell us? That will tell us the current state of that particular object and the behavior of that particular object. Fine. So this is the functioning of this keyword. So just remember one thing, that it acts as a reference variable. What is it? It is a reference variable. To whom it is referring? It is referring to the current object. So always it will refer to the current object. Second is that what are the different usage of this keyword? Usage of this keyword. So there are so many usage of this keyword, that while doing all those, we can say that all the different implementing different programming concepts, we can use this particular part of this keyword. So we can write like this: usage of this keyword. So how we can refer it? That it may refer to usage of this keyword. Okay, so how we can refer this keyword? That what basically appear, which particular part we can use this keyword. And shortly we will be discussing some of the program based on the usage of this keyword also. Okay, so meanwhile you just understand that why we can use this keyword, or what is the importance of this keyword in Java. So it can refer to current class instance variable. Current class instance variable. This is its first usage, or it can use to invoke current class method. Current class method. Okay, and that is implicitly. So this is the main purpose of it, that implicitly by default, if we are invoking a current class method, at that time this keyword will be called. Okay, so we can have this particular part. So you can see here. Okay, so first use was that it refers to the current class instance variable. Second is that it invokes the current class method, and that is implicit. And further we can say that it also invokes current class constructor. Current class constructor. Okay, so we can also use it in order to invoke current class constructor. Plus, there are also some other different usage of this keyword. So that we will refer here. So it can be used as an argument in used as an argument in method call. In method call. Okay, and it can be also passed as an argument in constructor call. Constructor call. Okay, and it can also return. It can also return current class instance from the so these are some of the uses of this keyword. So starting with that it refers to a current class instance variable. So instance variable it can refer to the current class method. So by default also implicitly we don't have to define it explicitly, but implicit also it can refer to your current class method. Next is that it invokes current class constructor also, and these are some of the argument based usage of this keyword, that we can pass it as an argument in a method call, or we can pass it as an argument in a constructor call. Okay, and it can also return a current class instance from the method. So basically, according to the usage in our syllabus, we will be implementing these first three uses of this keyword. Okay, but for your knowledge, you must remember that these are also the main purpose of this keyword, and you can use it as well if you like implementing the same while doing some type of a program implementation of it, some type of a programming. Okay, so now we will move towards the coding portion, and I am going to share my screen with you. So while sharing my screen, I will be telling you that how we can implement this usage of this keyword. Okay, so that will obviously help us in understanding that how this keyword can be used. So I am going to share my notepad with you, and obviously side by side we will implement the same thing. So okay, so here we will start with. So the first usage of this keyword. So I just, for your reference, I just write here that how we can use this keyword in our programs. So first usage is that we can use like this. This used to refer current class instance variable. Okay, so here you can see that now we will first refer to this particular part, that if we are using that particular instance variable here. So what we mean by instance variable? What we mean by instance variable, that is defined in a class but outside the body of the method. Okay, so I hope you understand the word instance variable, that is defined inside the class but outside the body of the method. Similarly, we have a local variables also. So what are these local variables? That are created when your method, in your method constructor or a block, but they are destroyed as soon as you leave that particular method, block, or anything. Okay, so that is the local variables we are having. Okay, so first of all, we will see a general example where we see that we are not using a instance variable over here. We are not using this keyword here. So let's suppose we are having a class here, that is let's take it as an example, this one, and here I can use three fields here, like roll number is there, and we can have a string with name. Okay, and then we have a float field. Okay, so these are the three variables I have taken. Now I will use one. I will be using a constructor here. That is this one. So its name should be same as that of the class name. So again, I am passing the parameters here like this: roll number, then is string, name, and we can have float, p. Okay, so this is a, we can say that this is a constructor that we are parameterized constructor with three parameters that we are defining. Now let's see what I will do. Now you can see that both the names of my this particular parameters are same. So both the parameters like formal arguments and the instance variables. Okay, so that is the instance variable, that is these are the some of the instance variable that we are not defining under a particular method, but they are defined inside a particular class. Okay, so what I am doing that if you see that both the names of this parameter, that is the formal arguments and that instance variable are same. So what will happen, so when while assigning all this argument value of this parameter to the instance variable, so I will write like this: simply roll number equal to roll number, and again I will be having name equal to name. Okay, and last one is the p equal to p. So these are the three, we can say that we have assigned all these values here. Now the next thing that we will be doing here, that is a void display. Let's suppose this is a another method that I am using, that is void display, and its mainly purpose is that it is just printing all those values. So I am writing like this: system dot out dot print ln, and here we can write like this: roll number, and that is name, and okay, so this is the display function that we have mentioned here. And now I will close my this particular class also. So I am closing my this class also. Now here, now let's suppose I am taking this class as test this one. Okay, let's suppose I have taken this number a name, so I have used test this one. Now what I will do, I will write like public static void main, and I have to pass that string arguments with it, that is string arguments. Okay, so these are the string arguments that I am passing here. And after that, okay, so that is a what was the name of my class? That was this one, and I will create the object for the same. So s1 equal to new this one. Okay, so here I can pass all those values. So I am passing the values like the one, and let the name could be uh, any name I can give here. So next is the any value I can give like this. So I have passed that float value. So I can write like this, or simply I can just pass the values here. And again I am having another, let's suppose I am having another object here, that is s2, and new this one. Okay, so again I will take some values here. So you can write like this, Aniket. So any name can I take? So here also I will pass the values over here. Okay, so here what I will do, I will just call the another method also, so that is s1 dot display. Okay, so again we are having s2 dot display. Okay, so these are the two display methods that I have used. Two objects are calling the same display method here. Now let's see. Now let's run this program. So before that, I just save it with a name, that is test this one dot Java. Okay. So this is the name by which I am going to save this part. So that is test this one dot Java. Now I will move towards my command prompt screen. And now I will just first compile this part. So let's see what will happen, that here I am simply using the same name for that formal arguments and for the instance variable. So I can write like this. Okay, this one is there. Okay, so program has been combined successfully. Now I will run this part. So you can see here, okay, I have to include that particular value also. So I just move to this part. So I simply take integer value here. Okay. So here I can again run this part. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so here what will happen? I just, okay, so I just run this function and you can see here, okay, in the display portion, I think I have missed that P part here. So that's why it is not showing me that P also. So again, I will save this part and I move towards this portion. So you can see that from the output that nothing is being displayed on the screen. Why so? Because you can see that you are having all those value of 0, null and 0. Why so? Because it is not, the compiler is unable to distinguish between the local variable and the instance variable. Now, to distinguish, the first use of this keyword is that it will refer to the current class instance variable. Okay, so what are the instance variables that we are having that are defined in the class but outside the body of the method? So these are your instance variable, right? That is roll number, name, and your fee. Now, what I will do, I will again go to this part, and here under this portion, I will use this dot, and again that is this dot, and again I am having that this dot, right? So this is the, with the help of this keyword, this will refer to the current class instance variable. So what are my current class instance variable? This is roll number, name, and fee. So this side of the part will represent the instance variable, and this type of this side of the part will represent the formal arguments that we are passing under this particular constructor. Now again, I will run this program. You can see here. Okay. Now you can see your output will be visible because it can easily distinguish between the instance variable and the formal arguments that we are passing over here, or the local variable. Okay. So that is a case that where we can use this keyword. There could be a situation that we don't want to give some different name. Now let's suppose if we have some different name over here, like we can have roll number 1 and a string that name 1 is there and p1 is there. Okay, so at that time automatically your names are distinguished. Okay, so like you are having different names as in formal argument and different name for the instance variable. So at that case you don't require this keyword. This keyword will be only be used will be used only in that particular case if you are having same name. Okay, so if you are already doing with the different names, then there is no need to use the this keyword. Okay, fine. So this was about the first usage of the this keyword. Now the next usage we will see that for that. So the next usage is that we can use this keyword to invoke a current class method. So we can, this is used to invoke current class method. Okay, so this is used to invoke current class method. So there could be a situation that you may invoke the method of the current class. For that you can use this keyword. But there is one advantage of this keyword also, that if we don't mention this keyword then only then also your compiler will automatically add this keyword while invoking the method. So if you remember the points that I have written on the blackboard, so in that particular case I have told you that implicitly means that by default it can also invoke the current class method, either you mention that this keyword or not. Okay, so we can just take a simple example over here. Now let's suppose I am having class A1. Okay, and under this, let's suppose I am having one of the method, that is void M1. Okay, this is a void M1. Now we are writing like this: system dot out dot println. Okay, so that is system dot out dot println, and here we can write like this: hello M1. Okay, so I will close this part and I will close this method also. Okay, now let's suppose there is another method void N1. So we are having this method that is void N1. Okay, so if I write like this, so there could be a situation that I can say, either I write like this dot M method. Okay, so I am calling this M1 method here. So I am writing like this M1. So either you write this or not. If you don't write this keyword here, then also it will implicitly add this keyword to it. Okay, so otherwise, just for your knowledge, I need to tell you that you can write like this dot M1. Okay, so we are calling a method over here. So we are invoking a current class method over here, another method. Okay, so we can have like this, that is this dot M, and now I will close this particular method, that is N1 method, and I will also close this class also. Okay, so here I can write like this: class test this 2. This is class test this 2. Let's suppose this is the name of my class. So here I have to write that is public static void main, and I will pass that string arguments here. Okay, so here you can have the name of the class here, that is A1. Okay, and we will create the object of this class A equal to new A1. Okay, so that is a new. Okay, now with the help of this particular object, I am going to call the method, that is N method. So if I will simply N1 method, so it will automatically call your M1 method also. Okay, so that is known as like this. I will be closing all the brackets here. Right? So this is also one of the case in which you can use this keyword to invoke the current class method. Just remember one thing, if you don't write that this keyword with that particular method, so implicitly your compiler will add that this keyword to it. Okay. So let's run this program. So before that, I am going to save this program. So first of all, I am writing like this: test this to dot java. Okay. Now I am will show my command prompt to you. So that is, let's clear all this thing. And I am writing like this: java c test this to dot java. Some grammatical errors are there. So again, I will start. Let's see what is the output. Okay, now it's working fine. So I just run this part. Okay, so you can see that this particular value has been displayed. Okay, so that value is your hello M. So this is a case where you can see, or I can, for your reference, I can just add one more statement here. That is system dot out dot println, and here we can just print another statement here, that is hello N1. Or you can write anything here like this. Okay, so again, let's run this part. So okay, so what do you think, that what output will, which message will be printed first here? So obviously, first of all, that n method will run its own message here. N method will run its own message, and after that, it can display the message of M1. So we can write like this. Okay, so you can see hello N1 will be there and hello M1. So this is also the case where you want to invoke the current class method. Okay, so you are just invoking the current class method here. So you can either you can write this keyword or not. That will that work will remain the same. But implicitly you must understand that by which particular format that why we are using this M method under this M method. So that is this keyword that helps it out to just call the another method from the current method. Okay, so we will perform the third usage of this keyword here. So that is used to invoke, used to invoke current class constructor. It is used to invoke current class instructor. Now, what is the advantage of using this keyword when we need to invoke the current class constructor? That it help us to reuse the constructor. Okay, so when we are saying that we are invoking a current class in constructor, that means we are reusing that particular constructor, or we can say that constructor chaining is performed because we are calling one constructor in the another constructor. Okay, so here we will take example where we are calling a default constructor from a parameterized constructor. Okay, so let's see, we are taking one this code here, example of that particular code. So we can write like this, that is class that we will include class A1, and here we are having, let's suppose we are having constructor here, a parameterized constructor of this particular class. So I am writing like this. So that is system dot out dot println. Okay, so here I will just print a statement that is hello A1. Fine. So this is the first constructor that we have created here. That is a default constructor. Now let's suppose I will create another constructor here, but that it will be the parameterized constructor. So that is int. Let's suppose the value I am giving, that is x1, and in this particular x1, what is happening here, like I will be using this keyword here. Okay, so this is this keyword. So by using this keyword, what I am doing, that I am calling this particular default constructor under this parameterized constructor. Okay, so I am, by using this keyword in this particular constructor, that means I am calling the another constructor in this particular constructor. So what type of a constructor I am having? I am having two types of constructor. One is the default constructor and another one is a parameterized constructor. And by using this keyword in the parameterized constructor, I am calling the default constructor under my parameterized constructor. Okay, so here what I will do, I will write like this: system dot out dot println, and here I can just print that value here, that is x1. Okay, I'm just passing that, printing that particular value. So here I will close this particular constructor and I will also close this particular class also. Okay, now I will implement the same class test this 3. Let's suppose this is the name of my class here, where I will be calling my main method. So I am writing like this: public static void main string arguments. Okay, so you can call this main method here. Now, what was the name of my class? That is A1. I will create the object for the same A equal to new, and as you know that we are using that parameterized constructor here, so I am passing the value, like let's suppose I am passing the value like this 12. Okay, so this value will be passed to my parameterized constructor. And now finally I will close my record. So I'm writing like the control S test this 3.java. Okay. Okay, so this is the case you can see. So here what I am doing, I have performed that concept of constructor chaining. What constructor chaining says that we can reuse the constructor, or I can just use one constructor in order to invoke the another constructor in it. So what in my case, what I have done, I have created two constructors over here. One is the A1 and another one is A1 with the default, which is acting as a default constructor. Another one is the parameterized constructor that I have having. So that is A1 int x1. Okay, so here I have used this keyword over here. So what this will do, that this particular keyword will invoke the front class constructor here. Okay, so it is working as we can say that this we have constructor call will just call that default constructor under the parameterized constructor. Okay, so now let's run this program. So here you can see that Java C, and I can again I just clear the screen. So we can write like the Java C test this 3 dot Java. Okay. So the compilation part has been over, and now we will run this part. Okay. Okay. So you can see here that these are the value that we have passed here. So first of all, when this parameter will be passed here, so it will call the default constructor here. That's why the value has been printed as hello A1. And after that, it will print its parameterized value, that is parameter value, that is x1. So what value we have passed, that is 12. Okay. So this was the different usage of this keyword. So according to our syllabus part, or according to our reference part, we have defined all three uses. Okay. So okay, some basically, as you know that we compile again, we are also using this particular class, and we are also using this class also. But we have to compile with that particular name where we are using that main method. Okay, so this is the main method that we are using. So we have to call that particular class name. Okay, these are the another classes that is available, but we always save or compile a program with that particular class name that is having a main method with us. Okay, so this was all about that. We can say that this keyword. So I hope this topic is clear to you, and as with the help of the program also, we have done this particular implementation of all these usage. Okay. Okay, in this, by this particular program, we will implement the concept of method overloading in Java. Okay, so how we will implement, let basically advantage of this method overloading is that it will just increase the readability of the program. Okay, so we have a different ways to overload the method. So overloading means when we have multiple methods with same name but different in parameters. That concept is known as a method overloading. Now this method overloading can be done in two ways. So one of the method is by changing number of arguments. So we can just write here like this: method overloading in Java by changing number of arguments. Number of arguments. Okay, so that is by changing the number of arguments. Now let's suppose I take a class here, that is class A. Okay, so and I am going to add here I am going to use two methods here with different para arguments, as they will be different in the number of that arguments. Okay, so I can write like this: int add, and I will be taking parameters like this: int a, int b. Okay, so here I can just return a plus b. Okay, now again I will take another method here but with the same name. So I'm writing like int add, and now I am taking three parameters here because I am implementing this method overloading by changing the number of arguments. Number means that in quantitative value what different number I am having. So like this, I am using int a, int b, int c. Okay, so this is the number. Then we have return a plus B plus C. Okay. So here I will define the class. So I just write like this: method overload. Load one. I will take name like this, and here I will define that public static void main, and that is we are having string arguments. Okay, so here I will just print the value system dot out dot println. Okay. So what is the name of my class? Let's suppose the name of my class is A, and here I will be using that method name add. And now let's suppose I am giving two values here, 2, 3. So first case I was having only two arguments, so I will be writing like this. And in the second part, again we are writing system dot out dot println. Okay, so again here A dot add, and I can pass the values like 2, 3, 4. Now the number of arguments has been changed to 3, so I have given the 3 arguments here. So here I can just save this program like this. So Control S. So method overload 1.java, that will be the name of my overload 1.java. Okay, now let's run this program. So I will first share my screen with you. So that is so I need to close this class also. And again, I save this part, and now I will first share my screen with you. So here again, I will run this part. Oh, I have to include this static part over here. Okay, so I just refer this part as a static because I am not mentioning any type of a object here. So okay, so I have to mention it as a static part, static method, so that I don't have to create the object for that particular method. That's fine. So let's compile this part. See, you can see the output here. Okay. So this was all about the method overloading, in which we have just done this particular part of method overloading by changing the number of arguments. So here my number of arguments are 2, and here my number of arguments are 3. Okay, so this is the case. You can see that again I will share both my screens with you so that it should be visible to you. And I am okay, so I'm sharing my both screen with you. You can see here that like this particular part, we are use this two methods are there, but with the same name but different number of arguments. So here the number of arguments were 2, and here the number of arguments is 3. So what we have done, we have just declared this particular add method as a static method, so that we can directly call all these methods over here. Okay, So this is how we can referring to this particular method overloading bar. Fine. Now I will discuss another method of this overloading. So we can just do write this, that method overloading by changing data type of arguments. Data type of arguments. Okay. So here I can again take that particular class like this, class A, and here, so I just write like this, class A, and again I will take that static method, static int add, and here I will be having int A comma int B, and I can return A plus B semicolon. Okay. And next again I will take the method here with the same name, static int add, but mine now my values will be different. So I am taking like double A comma double B, right? So again I will be referring this name, that is double A and double B, and I will return A plus B. Okay, so I will close this class also. It is A class. Now I can link class method overload to, and here I will be using that public static void main string arguments. Okay, so this is the string arguments we are having here, and that is system dot out dot println. Okay, so here I will be using this class A dot, and this is the method add, and I will give that values a 2 3 like this. Okay, again we will be using that system dot out dot println, and here I will be using a, it is A dot add. So let's suppose I am taking the value like 2.5 comma 3.6. So anything that I can mention in the form of double format. Okay, so here again I will just save this program with the name method overload dot double two. Okay, so let's again run this program. So we are having like this. So I just change the value to 2. Something is missing here. So I am just going through the part that something has been missed here. Okay, I have written that int here, so that should be double. Okay, that is double. Now it will be fine. Now again, I will run this part. Fine. So now it is okay. Now I will run this part here, and you can see the output. That method overloading was successfully implemented. If we use the same method name but with the different data types. Okay, so different data types, that is by changing the type of arguments, so we can also perform that method overloading there. Okay, so this was all about that method overloading. Hope you understood the concept. Thank you.